Welcome to Deeply Disturbing Things.
The podcast.
I'm Macy.
And I'm Naomi.
And we're two anxious counselors who like to talk about deeply disturbing things.
And maybe we'll sprinkle in some psychology.
Oh, maybe. I mean, that might be a reach for today, but I'll try.
I'm going to try.
My darndest.
I'm going to try to put one sprinkle in.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure you can. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we can't help it, really.
We can't help it.
I'm sure it's actually probably the opposite. It's probably good luck getting us not to. All right. I am topicizing today.
Ooh.
Yep.
What do you got?
I'm going to talk about soldiers and animals in war.
Oh, are you going to talk about that bear?
I'm going to talk about a lot of different things, but there's which bear? Which one?
It was in like the Russian army. They had like a bear friend.
And that's honestly what fascinated me about this topic. Like there were so many things that I was like, oh, what really? Like so first of all, the puppy I was from Adventure Time. He's psychic, ancient psychic tandem war elephant thing. And I was like, war elephants, that's a cool thing.
Is that
right?
real? Did Hannibal really cross the mountains with elephants, or is that not true?
That's a very specific thing I did not look up, so I don't know that.
Okay.
No, and was a different tangent. But but
we should rename our podcast The Tangents.
The Tangents. But that's kind of where this idea started, because I was like, war elephants, and I was looking into it and like, oh my gosh, but there's so many so many war stories where animals kind of come up again and again. And one of the ones with the elephants, they used circus elephants to go and remove like big landmine debris, and they had pictures of like these elephants like moving this stuff, and I was like, I would never have thought that would be a thing ever. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Elephants make me sad.
Like elephants themselves make you sad, or
just like the plight of elephants.
The plight of elephants. We have knives for a reason, by the way. This is not.
We were gifted with knives. The perfect gift, honestly.
Knives and wine. And war animals.
War animals.
So, not uncommon for people, and this is many countries, so this is not just the United States, who enlist animals as part of, and so I'm going to be talking specifically about like trained animals for wartime. So
it's
not
sort of like
not incidentals.
A job.
Yeah, like they have a specific purpose while they're there.
Okay.
And that's pretty much across the world that animals have been used in war. What are your thoughts about that?
Tell us more. Well, I mean, you always go back to like, animals don't have a choice. Are they being mistreated? That kind of stuff. We're putting them in danger, obviously, if they're on the battlefront. But we have companion animals, and really they could be in danger just driving in the back of our car too.
That's very true.
Part of our life.
Well, and people who, they say like your dog should be
buckled up.
Yeah. And I don't see
Nobody buckles their dog.
Right.
And when they're in the back of the pickup, I hate that.
Yeah, I like
when they're loose and then they run back and forth because they want to like see which side has the better airstream.
Or even on a leash, like what if they flip over or hit a bump and then they're just like hanging there? No, the horrible images.
Yeah, so I think it's a whole responsibility when you even take on a pet.
Agreed. So hold off ye judgment if you've ever had your dog in your car. There you go. All right. So the U.S. forces employed thousands of animals during World War II. They could be found in pretty much every section of the war at the time. So they were called comrades in arms or the companions in battle. Their presence in the battlefield was documented by government photographers in the war, and there's hundreds of photographs of dogs, cats, horses.
Cats?
There's some cool ones.
War cats?
Serious, yes. That are actually in the National Archives and still like part of that whole history. So In 1993, they opened what's called Buddies, Soldiers and Animals in World War II, which was a display of 36 of those specific images that people could actually then be available to see.
Well,
So
it makes me
I'm
think
gonna
of
show those to you.
like how comforting that must be for the soldiers to like have an animal buddy there.
And some of these, it was like I could like my heart instantly kind of melts. Like, yeah, like I could imagine it being under that much stress and strain, but like you get this unconditional being there.
Right. When you're, away from your family
Mhm.
and stressed and you get a furry friend.
So this is a picture of dogs that are inducted into the Army at the Front Royal in Virginia in 1942. So they actually have all the dogs like line up and they get like health inspections. Yes, please put your
I'm
glasses
gonna put
on.
my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm looking at here.
Oh, here I can actually.
There's a wide variety of breeds.
Yeah. So, this was probably before AKC era of like needing them to be specific breeds, but you can see there's Saint Bernard in there, some like
Some kind of
tall
ragtag
terrier things.
kind of things.
Yeah.
I think I would see a border collie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now like
So you
police
see
dogs
them
are
measuring and weighing the
aren't
dogs.
police dogs like all German Shepherds for the most part in America?
I actually don't know that.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
That's a future topic. I mean, I agree with that, but I don't think I've seen enough to know for sure.
Yeah, there might be some others.
Yeah, maybe. And then here, so this is
Do they get, oh my God, do they get dog tags?
She's proud of that one.
Do they though?
There's like whole memorials, and I'll just make it sound. Yes.
They do.
They
Wow.
do.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's important. That means they're valued.
So this person, he's in the Marine Corps. This is Res P. Hester of the Marine Corps 7th War Dog Platoon. Iowa Jima takes a nap while Butch stands guard. This is in 1945. So Butch, this looks like a
Iwo Jima.
What's a pinscher? Doberman pinscher?
Doberman pinscher. Yeah, those are badass dogs.
Keep your glasses on for this.
I love those dogs.
Aren't they cute?
They are fierce.
So, and you see him like I would feel so much better being able to take a nap. Knowing that like I was being watched over too.
Well, that's why a lot of the unhoused people have dogs,
right?
Because it helps with safety.
Right. So we know right off the bat that they were enlisted for the specific purpose of providing protection and security and emotional support. So there weren't just that role. There's workers and there's also the warriors.
I think we already sprinkled in the psychology with the emotional support.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I mean, they do, yeah.
We sprinkled it in. We did it. We did it.
Well done. Good luck getting us to stop. So horses, mules, and dogs were probably the most regularly used.
Horses, what, and dogs?
Mules.
Oh, mules.
Mm-hmm. Like this. That's a mule. I know you've had difficulties with mules.
No, I have really struggled with what is a mule
versus a donkey.
What is a donkey? Where are the lines? Where are the boundaries? Do you remember I worked so hard?
The part bred with a horse.
I worked so hard on that graphic for our podcast topic. And then you were like,
I know.
That's not the right animal.
I mean, you called it a donkey, right? Or did you call it a mule? I don't remember.
Well, it was for your topic on 40 acres and a mule.
Right.
And I had posted the other one.
Yeah.
The wrong one.
A donkey.
A donkey.
You posted a donkey.
I posted a donkey.
You posted a donkey.
So I had to redo it. I corrected my mistake.
Right. You do know though that whole thing was an error all the way around though, right?
Yeah.
Because I thought you were talking about something else completely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yes, you were still wrong, but you did all that extra work for no reason.
Tangled webs
we weave. So
I'm still not clear, to be honest. Like if you showed me a picture, I might not.
I just showed you a picture.
So the donkey has the bigger
ears.
This
is the donkey.
So bigger ears.
No, that's not just like ear length size. I mean, maybe it has, so mules can be big though. So, because they're often like they're bred with horses, so they're big.
And a donkey,
Put your glasses on.
is that also known as a jackass?
Yes, put your glasses on. Donkey.
Oh, it's kind of cute.
He's kind of cute. I mean, it's not a spider. So,
I wouldn't think it was as cute maybe if it had 8 legs.
maybe not. It has 4, which is a lot more than what we are used to. So horses would obviously carry soldiers on patrol missions into Europe and to battle in the Philippines. Mules trained in the United States and shipped by the thousands into war zones would help carry things. Their backs carried food, weapons, and sometimes the men themselves into entire infantry units into certain areas. So they were
helpful. They're integral. I mean,
yeah,
they're more than a companion. They like actually had
jobs,
tasks. Yeah,
right. And I could imagine it would be like some of these places or areas to get to, or how do we get there and carry our supplies? Like if they didn't employ animals into that, would it have been possible? Probably not, I dare say.
I'm glad they have a place of honor in the Buddy exhibit.
Me too. So there's like horses, again, are the most common, but there's some 20,000 dogs that did serve in the U.S. Army, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps. They guarded posts, supplies, carried messages, and rescued downed pilots.
Wow.
Doggos.
So heroic.
Scout dogs led troops through enemy territories, exposing ambushes. So leading the way, and saving the lives of platoons of men. In the throes of combat, war dogs proved their intelligence, courage, and steadfast loyalty time and time again. Many photographs in the National Archives hold documents that show the sacrifice of these animals. So there's one picture. See if I can find it here. Here we go. So this one's sad. So this doggy did pass away. And this is the deeply disturbing part, is obviously, like you said, the animals,
they're at risk. They're at war.
So here's a picture, but it's he's with there's a German Shepherd on a first aid bed, and they're trying to give first aid to the dog. But again, showing how much they care about the dog, right? Like you can see it in the picture. Like
it's a German Shepherd too, which
I know
tugs at your heartstrings.
He was helping lead the platoon in. And
that's a really good photo.
I know, and he was the sniper got him, but it let the platoon then know to get to safety. So he risked his life, and they did try to recover him, and he did pass away. But
yeah, I mean, on one side you have the PETA folk, right, that are like, don't ever.
I mean, but they X-rayed him. He was shot by a Japanese sniper. They didn't.
These animals were loved,
right, and that's what I saw what I liked about this particular part of the research I did was with the photos, like you can see that human connection part.
Yeah, and I've seen
like his hand on this dog, like look at his face, like he's like.
I was a little distracted by the guy in the background with no shirt, to be honest, but now that you zoomed into a different person, I see that emotion.
Yeah, and he's holding the leash.
Oh,
like
I've kept the collars and leashes to all my dead dogs.
I still have a booze, but like if you see here too in the picture, he's above an X-ray machine, so they're literally trying to do everything.
He's part of the team,
right? So I didn't, looking at this, I definitely didn't get, at least in the sense that they were viewed as expendable. And the British Army has like whole like criteria for how to take care of like the mules, like they like clean them and bathe them, like they're taught to really take care of the animals that are enlisted as well.
I think that some animals that have tasks like rescue dogs that, search like earthquake sites or something.
They do that, like we have dogs that help find people in avalanches.
Yeah, it seems like those dogs, I mean, this could just be me like putting my human shit on a dog, but it seems like they get some kind of fulfillment out of doing their job well
Mhm.
and pleasing their human. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're trained to do that thing when they
I mean,
do
maybe
it.
it is just training. And I'm just putting, you know how you think your dog is smiling and maybe they're not.
Right, but they are.
Maybe they're just farting.
But I mean, your name topic thing, like I barely gave any attention and barely have named Panda a consistent name since I've known him. And he still knows, like he is attached to me. And I try to hold him less than all the others. Like there's something, they know something.
They do. They're
Know
smart.
something. So, okay, so dogs have had a big role. But here's this little burro, which is this is a baby donkey. Look at that little
Oh,
donkey.
so cute.
And there with the doggo. That is a terrier named Pito. Cute name. So that they would often have mascots, by the way. So I'd find like different platoons and stuff would have their animal like mascot that would be there like
That's cool.
in all their pictures and stuff. So this picture, there was 2 months of combat. It shows the faces of both Private Jesse Fennell, 101st Airborne, and his dog Dud in 1944. And this is just his dog Dud that he took around with him.
Wow. That's cool. Incredible.
Like, could you imagine being around like
I would have
battle
such a better time if I had a pet with me.
in war?
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than it not, I guess. I mean, I think I would feel fear of them, like, well, what if something happened to them?
Yeah.
But I think again, if you're there long term, you probably do get a little selfish and want.
Well, I think in the downtime it would be comforting when you're in the shit that yeah, you wouldn't want to be distracted by worrying about what's happening with your
Right.
dog.
Which I'm
I
sure
guess.
that would
I
probably
don't
be
know.
part of
Maybe
the
you do want
training.
to.
Well, and that's the thing, like they're doing x-rays, so obviously they're taking at least two people out of the fray of things to try to take care of them. So they're seen as valuable enough to pay attention to.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's like, looking out for your platoon people.
Mhm. Yeah.
Maybe it is important and not a distraction. Maybe it's like necessary.
Right. Well, like in that instance, that dog alerted everybody to the fact that there's a Japanese sniper that's could take out everybody.
They have way better census than we do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So these mascots, they're traditionally considered bearers of good luck. That's kind of how they were viewed. The mascots were pets who belonged to all the men of the squad, the company, or the
Okay.
ship. So they were like
Everybody
community owned. Yeah.
But you know that animals sometimes have a stronger bond with
That's
certain
true.
people.
That's true. Yeah. But you can imagine the people coming and going and sometimes people not coming back. But like maybe there is more of a community. I think of some of like the stray cats outside my house. There's much more of a community feel. So
Macy's Home for Wayward Cats.
I know. So there are photographs that show them with their own pets, ones that they had even smuggled with them from the United States.
Oh, these weren't like the official.
Some of them were those, but more often than not, they were local animals that were left homeless by the war. For the adopted dog, cat, or bird, being in a soldier's care meant survival. So for the soldier, a pet meant comfort and companionship during battlefield time. So the term buddies, it speaks to the heartfelt, enduring relationships that were formed between the soldiers and the animals. And when I thought about that too, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, like in like exploding bombs and houses being destroyed, like there would be animals that are just left.
So I can see dogs doing important stuff and mules and yeah, that's going to be my
Look
next
at this
question.
kitten on
Like,
his head.
what are the cats doing? Like I can't
This
see
cat.
them really. I mean, I have 3 cats. They are limited in their helpfulness to me.
Are you wanting to know more about how cats?
I want to know like what are their tasks?
I'll go over that way for in a minute. I'll go break down the duties a bit more, but that picture specifically is Marine Corporal Edward Buckhart. He found that kitten at the base of Mount Surubachi. And it was some of the most brutal fighting of the war in 1945. So he found that kitten and rescued it. Then this one is Army PFC. What does PFC stand for?
Private First Class.
Thank you. Army Private First Class Raymond Gasiarowski takes Leipzig, his company's pet puppy, for a walk in Germany in 1945. Look how little that little puppy is. It is so cute.
That's really cute.
So that's the company's dog.
I like that guy's outfit. His pants are fire, as the kids say.
They are fire. I mean,
I would wear those.
I believe you would, especially they're of a bright color.
And high-waisted, yeah.
Yes,
I'd
yes.
be all about it.
Yes. So in California, there is actually a Marine War Dog Cemetery.
Oh, where? I want to go there.
I'd have to look up where exactly. California somewhere.
Okay, it's a big place.
Big place. I don't know. You're from there.
I know, but what if it's in San Francisco and I'm going there in March and I could go there?
I feel like that's not the biggest landmass area for.
No, but there's
cemeteries,
military, but I mean, it's Army, not Marines.
Hmm.
I know there's Marines down in SoCal. My grandpa used to live down there and was a former Marine in World War II.
I'll follow up. But yeah, so
I'm not
again,
going to SoCal,
and so again, that's like a whole cemetery. So
I would totally go there. I think that's cool.
it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. All right. So some of the animals that went to war, we talked about horses, donkeys, mules, camels also in certain areas were used for carrying food and water, ammunitions, medical supplies.
Have you ever ridden a camel?
Have you?
No, but not yet.
Me neither, not
I
yet.
will at one point.
I don't know if I will ever, honestly.
I plan on it.
I might ride an elephant,
Okay.
but I might not ride a camel. I don't know why I know that.
I definitely will ride a camel at some
Will
point.
you ride an elephant?
I don't see that in my future, but I see camel riding.
Weird.
I know.
Weird. Obviously, we're not going to be together during this. I'll be riding an elephant.
Or we could be next to each other. You're
Right,
on the
they can
elephant,
have
I'm
one
on the
elephant
camel.
and a camel.
We could totally be
That
together.
makes sense. Everything's coming together. Everything's connected. So there were also animals used for carrying messages. So pigeons carried messages, dogs carried messages, and
Pigeons.
canaries were used to detect poisonous
What about
gases.
pigeons?
I
They carry
just said
messages.
pigeons.
You just-
Yeah. It was like you heard me.
It was like I heard you.
Sorry, is this knife threatening on this count?
It was exactly like I heard you, but yet didn't.
But then didn't, and then repeated it.
I just wanted to see clarification.
Cats and dogs were also trained to hunt rats in the trenches.
Oh God, I'm
Which would
talking
be-
World War II.
Well,
I mean
that-
World War One.
There's
Yeah.
definitely one of those in there.
No, World War One and those horrible trenches.
Mhm.
I mean, most of what I know from World War One is honestly
Like
from
trench warfare.
Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall movie, but it looks horrible.
So they trained animals to go in and kill the rats so they weren't so, pesty. So they weren't.
Pesty.
So there was also unusual animals.
Okay, have
like-
you ever seen a wild rat?
Yeah.
Where? Like in the wild?
Well,
I never have.
I'm trying to think of where I have seen one. Actually, that may not be true. I think they might all be mice.
I've seen wild mice. Yeah,
I
but
saw roaches in Hawaii, and that's get nighttime. That
yeah, when I
is-
lived in Portland, there was cockroaches in our apartment all the time.
that freaked me out.
Not just my apartment, it was the building. I just need to clarify.
Yeah, no, those are gross. They scare me.
Yeah, but some places like seeing wild rats on the regs is like a thing.
I mean, I had pet rats, so that doesn't freak me out, really.
Like if a giant sewer rat like ran by you.
I mean, I had pet rats.
I
Like,
do too, but I think wild rats are maybe I feel
I
like
mean-
I might be a little weirded out.
I wouldn't be weirded out just because I know
Would you
like
pick
them
it up?
well enough. No, I know them well enough to not pick them up, first of all. And like, to me, they're not, like, I know they don't want me to pick them up, nor are they coming at me to eat me or attack me.
At that time.
No, never, because
Wow.
they're rats.
Wow.
No, well.
You know that Edgar Allan Poe story where like the rats like nibble at the guy? I don't know.
I did the
I feel like
Willard,
you're the only
the
food.
movie Willard is great, and that's my rats were named after that horror movie.
I mean, if you're
Ben
the only food,
Willard.
you know. I don't know.
If you're the only food, I'm gonna eat you. Too,
Yeah.
So I mean, really, we're just talking about everything.
We're talking about
We'll eat everything. Eventually.
Well, maybe if I hang out in New York ever in my life, maybe I'll see a rat.
Don't pick them up.
No, I wouldn't like.
Okay.
I'm just
I just felt like I had to say that strongly.
No, I wouldn't feel like I want to cuddle it or put it on.
I mean,
my shoulder
don't
and
even
walk
touch
around.
it. Don't even touch it. Don't even reach down to it.
No,
It's not even gonna stay near you. You're gonna see it scutter past.
Scudder.
Mhm.
Scrabble.
Instantly.
Sorry, I tangented you again.
I love that that's become a word. So then there's also monkeys, bears, lions as well, who are kept as pets and mascots to
What about
raise
tigers?
morale. Not listed in my list, so I'm gonna say no. Look at this cat just chilling out inside this war gun.
Okay. I'm still
He's still alive.
curious, like what purpose the cats serve
So
beyond
first of all-
companionship.
Well, we're going over some mascots first.
Okay.
Okay, this is a naval mascot, the cat that's in the naval. Put your clothes on. Thank you.
Like what?
Thank you.
What was that sound you made? Glasses?
This is
Oh, wow.
Togo.
That looks totally different than it did. I had the face in the different place when I was looking without my glasses.
I know you were looking really confused. I'm like, this is
No, it looked like a monster, and now it looks like a kitty cat.
Yeah.
That's why people should wear their glasses
So
when they need to.
Togo, he's the cat of the battleship HMS Dreadnought. So he was their ship mascot.
I like that name, Dreadnought.
And his name was Togo. So number 32 Squadron had a fox cub.
What?
A fox cub. Look at this.
What does the fox say? Oh my God.
Isn't it cute?
So cute.
Naomi loves foxes, by the way.
I do.
So
what does the fox say? That's
is that a book?
There's a song.
Is it?
Oh my God, yes.
I just closed out my page. Oh my gosh, where did I just end up in my life? No. What is it? A book, you said?
No, it's a song.
Say it again. What song? Sing it.
What does the fox? I'm not gonna sing it because it's stupid. But it was so popular when it came out. It's like a one-hit wonder band. What does the fox say? And then it would be like, you know that song.
No, I know it from that one, like as a child, the spin wheel. It's like
No, this is like
the cow said.
I don't know, 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
What does the fox say? What does it was
I've never
such a dumb song, but everybody knew it. Except you, apparently.
Right. Not unusual. That's not unusual. Please stop it.
I'm not kidding that
That
was
is
very popular.
Horrible, and I've never heard it in my life. Ever.
Well, there's a video that goes
And it
along with
doesn't
it that
make-
helps it a little bit.
It doesn't make that noise, first of all.
Well, I don't even know.
Second of all, I hate that band now.
Well, the name of the band is I can't even pronounce it because it has too many consonants in a row.
So this fox cub, okay, hold on.
But I did just help
This
you
was in
with a little
1918.
bit of cultural knowledge because I feel
I
like
don't care. I will never remember that. Cultural knowledge falls right out. It's gone.
okay. Well, I have.
Why
I'll
do I
hold
need
it
to know
for
that?
you.
Why do I need to know
Well,
that?
I like to, you know,
That fox is going.
I like to be hip with the jive.
No, okay. All right. They didn't give a name for that little guy. Just so you know. Camels. Here's some pictures of camels carrying the wounded. So they created like
What?
these like beds that attach to the sides of the camel so people could be carried.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That is.
Yeah.
So camels get taxed, I think, kind of similar to like
Horses.
mules or donkeys, or
Yeah.
like where they're carrying a lot of shit and
Yeah.
it's hot climate.
They can go long distances, yeah, with minimal resources. Did you have more to say to that?
Well, I was thinking of the Grand Canyon, and then I'm like, I don't want to say it's donkeys or mules because I don't know. But one of them are the ones that always like
Donkeys.
go down into the Grand Canyon.
It's usually donkeys. They're sure-footed. They're like smaller. Again, like mules are gonna be bigger typically.
Okay.
Okay. So
It's the same pack mule offensive.
probably to some mule out there. Everything's so PC.
Well, sometimes because
nowadays.
I really try to get all the groceries out of the car in one trip, and sometimes I'll be like,
Mhm.
I feel like a pack mule. Then I'm like, is that offensive?
Probably actually, because they're like, did you snap your leg on the cliff today? I don't think so.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
stop
probably
saying
very
that.
insensitive of you.
It's so hard these days.
Here's a picture of, put your glasses on, of some DOGZs lining up in 1914. So these dogs carried medical equipment.
DOGZs?
Yeah, so they would go in the front lines.
Okay. You know what I love?
What do you love?
The cartoon Saint Bernard that had the like
Oh.
brandy
Yeah.
and would go out in the snow.
It's like a real thing. That's a whole
No, I
thing.
love that.
I forget what that
I mean, if I'm
based
ever
off
like
of the-
having an ailment, just drop some brandy in my mouth, see what happens. I could revive.
Well, and so if you think about it, like these are people who obviously have been injured. They're on the front lines, which means they're in dangerous territory. So getting someone to go and get them out may not be possible. So being able to send in the dogs to go in where someone who's injured could actually access medical supplies themselves if they can is a good in between if you can
How do they know
before
where to
help can
go?
get there. They're trained. Right.
It's way smarter
Right.
actually than people.
Way smarter than people. These horses have gas masks on.
Whoa.
I saw a horse gas mask. Where was I at? That was in
That's a crazy picture.
Where was I? It was when I was abroad somewhere in one of their museums. Oh no, it was in Hawaii. And there was a horse gas mask in one of the like pictures, and it actually looked like that, like the people gas mask, but like a horse one.
Whoa,
That's
that's
weird.
so cool.
Right. So these were German transport driver horses that wore gas masks. So, I mean, obviously you can't have your horses dying of gas stuff too.
No.
So this is the mascot on a captured German trench mortar. So here is, his name is School. And he's a monkey.
Oh, it's a monkey.
Yeah. That was their mascot.
And, you know, monkeys are very intelligent.
Very smart. Yeah, that was in 1917. His name was School.
School, like school?
Mhm.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it's spelled like school too. And then we have here's some mules being delivered. See, this is where you're gonna feel really bad for, pack mule comment.
Damn it.
This is
I was being vulnerable.
landing mules at Salonika. So these are in Italy, literally being dropped down from ships down.
How do they feel about that?
Nobody gave them a PHQ-9 or a GAD-7 to talk about their depression.
I mean, that's like the dark side of this. Like, yes, we're involving animals, they don't have a choice. But, you know, is it like a greater good kind of thing?
This is the regimental cat, is what they call him in a trench near France.
Okay, I need to know more about the regimental cat.
Right there, look at him.
What the fuck?
So they helped kill rats.
That cat is so cute.
And he's so regimental. Look at his
so
face.
regimental in that trench. Oh,
regimental, possibly.
We had art night last night at my house,
Oh, yeah?
and we did Sculpey clay, and we made our 3 cats
That's cute.
out of clay.
That's super cute.
I'll show you the final result when they're painted and everything.
Oh, yay.
Paul made Obi in all his
Obiness?
obiness. Yes.
carrier pigeons in their baskets, so they have messages.
Whoa.
Mhm. And then this dog is laying communication telephone wires. So they send them, so see the wire on his back?
What kind of dog is that?
It's like a shepherdy mixie. But he's pulling a wire wheel.
He looks real smart. I
Oh,
know there's something about that dog.
No,
I'm
he
like,
knows
that
where he's
dog
going.
is
Like,
high IQ.
He's like, I have to take this wire from here to there. I've got to get this from here to there.
I'm not going to be like weirded out that there's something on my back
So
and try to chew it and then tangle myself up in it.
German war dog. So part of this was this ground is very, very muddy. So they would have the dogs do it so you wouldn't sink, and also show where you laid your wire, because you don't want to show everyone where you laid your telephone wire.
Hide your wire.
Right. So British troops here are scraping the mud off of a mule near the Western Front in 1916. This is kind of going again towards
That's a muddy mule
that they like.
Okay, see, that is bigger than that other one.
That's what
with the bigger ears.
Said.
So mules are bigger, donkeys are bigger ears.
I'm not gonna give you that.
Well, how am I gonna know? I need rules.
Carrier pigeons also used in places. So they would put wearing respirators as they place carrier pigeons into a gas-proof chamber, presumably during an anti-gas drill. So what they would do is those pigeons would have messages and things on it where gas can't get in there.
Whoa.
So if something were to happen, those messages would be retained.
That is so interesting. It looks like fake, like they're putting into like a Doctor Who machine.
That is kind of what war feels like from all these photos, yes. In Egypt, camels were used a lot, and then messenger dogs in the front line in France to send signal messages.
Did you ever watch Sesame Street when you were little?
I mean, sometimes, yeah.
Did you like Bert's song doing the pigeon?
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
I watched a lot more of was it Fraggle Rock?
Fraggle Rock was the best.
Yeah, it was really
That was Jim Henson, yeah. Fraggle Rock is great.
Here's a pack horse during the Battle of Pilkem Ridge, and he's he has a gas mask on, and they're loading him up, about ready to go carry all the supplies in. Okay, so all that.
You'll have to send me a smattering of these photos.
I will.
For our
Patreon. Okay, Patreon. So, okay. They were used for transport and hauling. We talked about that. We talked about companionship, mascots. So for team morale, basically. Just to keep in mind too, that for certain cultures, like horses, for example, would be used like a knight's war horse. Had a lot of symbolism. So there can be a horse-drawn war wagons and things like that. So sometimes it had a big symbolism connection with culture too. And then elephants are not considered domesticable. Domesticable.
Okay. They're wild at heart.
Yes. But people can be trained. I would say people can be trained to ride them.
Like you.
Like me one day.
Goals.
#life goals. You're gonna ride that camel, but not in a gurney.
No. I'm gonna be up there, like maybe even standing up
there, like in the hump hole or on the hump. I don't know how that works.
I don't know a lot about camels, but aren't there some with 1 lump or 2?
And 3 or 4.
3?
No, I'm getting into some Dr. Seuss stuff here.
But I don't know. I could be totally wrong. But are there camels with 2 lumps?
There are.
And in that case, do you ride in the middle? If I'm totally wrong,
it seems
I don't know what's happening.
So you could lean back or you could lean forward.
I could
be completely fall asleep. You could take a nap.
Maybe they all only have 1 lump.
Check this out, though.
I think Looney Tunes skewed me.
At these circus elephants. Circus elephants pushing war debris out of the way.
Okay, see, elephants make me sad.
Elephants don't make you sad. People's treatment of elephants makes you sad. Okay, don't blame the elephants.
I mean, I could never watch Dumbo ever.
Dumbo's
Nobody should
sad.
ever, like, that movie needs to just be archived. It's too sad.
It's way too, all Disney's sad movies. And
Why is
Bambi?
why is there so much death?
Lion King?
Too much death.
I can't watch National Geographic without having a panic attack. And I'm like, nature, you scary. Like, I can't.
I know. I balance like wanting to know with, I'm just gonna live in my bubble.
Like that mountain goat that I did this event on one of our podcasts probably 3 years ago, where I was like, this mountain goat's like just trying to survive, and it's like on a cliff edge with like this much room to put its little toes on, and being chased by a mountain lion.
What's gonna happen?
And it like survives, but barely. And the whole like 20 minutes of my life, I am concerned.
No, I want to know what's going on out there,
but it's not here now. It's not,
at
that
some
happened
point,
already.
It gets overwhelming, and then I'm like, happy bubble, happy bubble.
I know.
Or else I'll just have a nervous breakdown.
If I don't have, if I'm not there to do something. But again, too, they say like don't get involved if it's nature and whatever, let nature take its course. But then we get into the cocaine hippo conversation, which is
well, and did you just see the little world's first IVF rhino they made? Yeah.
I love rhinos.
So this is like, maybe they can make endangered animals.
Like dinosaurs.
Well, yeah.
It's like Jurassic Park.
No, it's
all
exactly
over
like that. So then I'm like, well, it's all fun and games until it's very bad.
Until Jurassic Park happens.
No, I got
Jurassic Park 3.
This right now.
World of Dinosaurs.
As long as Jeff Goldblum is in this, then
I mean, I honestly thought he was eaten in the first one, but he didn't, I guess.
Okay.
Well, glasses?
Look at that little fucker.
Ew.
It's like in someone's hand. It's a little IVF rhino.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, it won't always look like that.
Will it not?
I mean, if it lives, it'll be like a real rhino.
At the end of this, I'll show you the puppy that so there's in the DNA of these puppies, bulldogs of my dad's, they have like the pocket gene for like making miniatures. And so people breed pocket size versions of dogs to have mini miniature things. And so
like purse-sized dogs.
Yeah, so my dad's dog has a genetic for breeding mini bulldogs, and one of them looks like that, and I'll show you.
Does somebody already claim it?
I think so, yeah. But it's my dad's favorite, and he calls her Gumdrop. And it's a
How big will it be eventually?
She's gonna stay very small. Mine is like, I'll show you a comparison. He's an elephant and she is a Gumdrop.
Well, I've never in my entire life seen a purse-sized bulldog, so I'm really curious.
You'll see. So, okay, so elephants. We're back to elephants again. Okay. Roll it back.
Roll it back to elephants.
The Sanskrit hymns record their use of military purposes with elephants as early as 1100 BC. A group of elephants was employed by Hannibal during the Second Punic War.
So that is true.
It is true. They were employed as recently as World War II by both Japanese and allies.
And Lord of the Rings.
And Lord of the Rings. Elephants could perform the work of machines in locations where vehicles couldn't get to. So they were also used in Burma as well.
I was all in with Legolas, but I have to admit, when he like surfed down
I remember
the
that
elephant thing, I was like, okay, a little too far. Even for me.
You gotta keep it within the realm of possibility.
I was all in with Legolas too.
Oh yeah.
I love me some elves.
This is a US Navy dog handler at the War Dog Memorial in the Naval Base in Guam with his doggo.
Oh, and that's a Doberman Pinscher up on that.
Yep.
What do you call that?
Well, in memorial.
Memorial.
And it says 25 Marine war dogs gave their lives in Guam in 1944. They served as sentries. They explored caves, detected mines, and it has the names of all the dogs: Kurt, Skipper, Missy, Blitz, Burr, Johnny, Poncho, Prince, Cappy, Arno, Pepper, Tam, and there's more.
Those are such classic dog names. Mitzi, Pepper.
Arno?
I love it.
So, okay, elephants were used, camels have been used. They're better able to get through sandy areas than horses and require less water. So there's that. And then mules were used by the British Army and the British Indian Army during World War II. Mules, North Africa, Burma, Italy. So again, depending on territory. Okay, so as weapons.
What? They used animals as weapons?
As weapons.
Oh no.
We didn't even get to that.
Did they put like bombs on them or something? That's terrible.
Well, let's roll back a little bit.
Okay.
So in 2500 BCE, the Sumerians used hybrid donkeys to pull their war chariots. So there we go. So they were a weapon in that sense because they would have spikes instead of their dogs were used in ancient Greece in war purposes. They were trained to specifically attack. So they reference this in Gladiator with Marcus Aurelius. He used war dogs in combat. I didn't know that was a true thing, and it was.
I haven't seen that for a long time.
Me neither. It makes me cry. It's sad. The Romans trained, they're called Molossean dogs, specifically for battle, coating them in a protective spiked metal collars and mail armor, and arranging them into attack formations. Yeah. During their conquest of Latin America, Spanish conquistadors used alans to kill warriors in the Caribbean and Mexico. Mastiffs as well as Great Danes were used in England in the Middle Ages to attack, where their large size was used to scare horses and throw riders off of their backs.
So this is different because this isn't like that companionship or like you have a specific important task that humans can't do, but it's like for the greater good. This is like, okay, we're kind of taking advantage of you.
You are an implement of war.
Yeah, it's different. It feels different.
You're trained to, but what if they do good?
I mean, that's the whole ethical dilemma,
right? Because they are helping still.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing. Like, what?
Because like in this one, like
what is it worth
with
to
the
get
mastiffs,
to that thing, that goal? Like,
but if we don't kill them, they kill us.
Yeah, but that's all.
But if the dogs go in and they're the ones just scaring them off of the horse, and then the people come in and kill the people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people are like.
So is it first aid is the line?
Most important.
So, but like they can give their lives if it's to maintain the lives of people, but they can't give their lives if it's to at the cost of lives of people. I'm trying to draw the philosophical line.
I don't know where it is.
Me neither. I don't think we're the ones to decide it either. But
different to me.
It is different to most.
And so I would say there's a line in there somewhere between, oh, I got my doggo buddy and we're in the trenches and he's like getting rats too. Okay, I'm like putting out this dog that I feel like they're not attached really. Like, did they even have names?
Do you know that?
And then they're putting them out there.
Maybe we're assuming that.
No, I'm saying if that's the case, like I feel
maybe
like
it'd be like a war, but maybe they would actually. That's why I'm like, well, what if they're like really like a champion, like they've saved people? Maybe they get like all this praise and.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could ask them.
Rhinos, unsubstantiated, from the most part.
Do you want me to show you that rhino in that hand again?
No, thank you. They do have
IVF rhino.
I can't not see it now. They have thick plated skin, except for that one. But they have
does not have thick plated skin.
No, but they have very poor eyesight and
that one.
And limited ability to run. So like it's been reported, but
really need to show it to you.
I don't. You already showed it to me. I don't want to.
I know, it didn't feel like a good look.
I can't get it out of my mind. Actually,
no. I feel like okay. IVF rhino.
Gosh, I know. I thought you don't have to even label it again. I understand.
Did you see its weird like blue eye?
Well, those are blood veins because it shouldn't be out of the inside yet.
Let's put it back in.
It's not ready to be out.
It's not fully baked.
No.
so funny.
Cattle were used.
I'm just gonna send this to you
So
every day this
They
week.
would, I hate you so much. They would create stampedes on purpose of panicking herds of cows. You had your bull
Bullshit.
like,
It's all bullshit.
herds of cattle were released onto the battlefield, but stampeded back into their own army's lines, some due to gunfire of the opposing army.
That's so sad. I'm sorry.
No, but that's kind of funny, right? Though, like,
Yeah.
we had this great idea. We're gonna just
Yeah.
hit him with a herd of cattle and they come back. Okay, so
I mean, if they have they're the kind of the horns like that, could be good.
yeah, unless they come back at you because the gunshots scare them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that's bad.
So
So you're doing your own running of the bulls.
during the Chinese period where there's warring states,
Yeah, let's hear
There's-
about my poops.
there
What are
was
the Chinese people
one-
doing?
there's there was said to have been 1,000 oxen that were dressed and painted like dragons,
Oh, what?
and their tails were lit on fire and sent
Fuck.
against the opposing Yan army.
Okay, at first I'm like, okay,
a scare
that's kinda
tactic, I
cool.
think.
And then I'm like, oh, that's mean. It reminds me of when like kids would like put firecrackers on a cat's tail.
I mean, I've never seen that in practice, but I've heard
I've heard about it.
reference.
Maybe it's an urban legend. Maybe it's like cow tipping.
Okay.
It doesn't actually.
I'm
exist.
gonna not even give an alternative to this. This is bad. Using
Okay.
them as living bombs. Here you
That's definitely bad.
go. So there's historical accounts of incendiary pigs.
I don't like that term.
Sorry. Yes, incendiary pigs.
I should write down some podcasts.
Where they
Actually.
douse some pigs with combustible pitch, crude oil, or resin, set them alight. This is horrible, and I'm not laughing at this. And drove them towards enemies' masked war elephants. The elephants bolted in terror from a flaming, squealing pig, and it often killed a great number of the soldiers being trampled by the elephants. Like, what? That
No,
is
that's not
complicated and intricate and
I'm writing
gruesome.
down incendiary pigs. That's
Um,
because honestly, I will forget like what we talked about.
right.
But-
So this is where I started with the good stuff. I mean, goodish stuff. And
No,
then,
I was kind of in. I'm like, what
and then
can my cats
and then
do?
incendiary pigs.
And then
to be.
incendiary pigs, and now I'm like, this is all bad, and we need to
I
stop.
mean, according to Private Shibo, monkeys were used in the Southern Song Dynasty, and they were used as live incendiary devices. They were clothed with straw and dipped in oil and then set on fire. They were set loose into the enemy's camp, setting tents on fire.
That's so fucked up.
It was very fucked up. In 1267, the Sheriff of Essex was accused of plotting to release flying cockerels. I don't even know what that is, carrying bombs over London. Anti-tank dogs. This makes me sad. So this was actually used in the Soviet World War II. It had mixed outcomes. Canines with explosives strapped to their backs were used to run it towards tanks and then exploded.
So that's just cruel and mean.
That's just cruel. Not even mean. To me, like, to be mean, you even have to have a feeling.
Like, I don't know where the line is, but this is over the line.
Project Pigeon was one. This was a proposed U.S. World War II weapon that would use pigeons to guide bombs. The bat bomb was a U.S. project that used Mexican free-tailed bats to carry small incendiary bombs.
Bats?
Mhm.
Oh.
And then animal-borne bombs have been used by modern terrorists and insurgents in the Middle East.
Have you ever seen a fruit bat's face up close?
I have it. Yeah, the little, yeah.
They're so cute.
I've had a bat in my house before, so I'm not that fond.
Oh, but fruit bats.
So sometimes what and would end up happening though is that these animals would be left wandering alone with, bombs on them. It's adorable.
It's so cute. Fruit
It's
bats. They're like
Dis-
little dogs, but with weird wings.
Deception and psychological warfare. In the Battle of the Pelusium between the Achaemenid Empire and ancient Egypt, Polynius claimed that the forces held cats in front of them as psychological tactics against the Egyptians,
Why?
whose archers would not shoot
Oh,
for
because they
fear of
valued
harming
cats.
the sacred animals.
Yeah, because cats are a very important
That's
part of culture.
psychological warfare.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up. It's fucked up. In the Battle of Agarphalanus in 2017 BCE, Hannibal Barca had torches attached to the horns of bulls before being set alight during nightfall and allowing them to run. The Romans believed the torchlight was from fleeing soldiers and pursued the cattle and then were caught in an ambush.
Oh, they're like, come
They're
here.
used as
They're
a
like,
bait,
bringing them in
right.
for a hug, and then it's a
Right.
bull.
Yeah.
But poor bulls, that's fucked up.
Yeah, yep. So espionage as well. They were used a lot in sending messages and intelligence gathering, for carrying spy equipment. In 2012, a dead European bee eater tagged with an Israeli leg band was found by villagers near the southeast of Turkey. So the villagers worried that the bird may have carried a microchip that had intelligence from spies on it. Turkish authorities examined the corpse of the bee-eater bird and assured villagers that it's common to equip migratory birds with rings in order to track their movements. So it wasn't, but it almost caused a whole kerfuffle.
The whole thing.
So that is, I think, the most that I'm going to go into those. Well, okay, hold on. Sorry. Military chickens.
Military chickens. Okay.
This was proposed by the British. It was part of the Blue Peacock Project.
Well, why would they not call it the Blue Chicken Project?
I don't have an answer to that. The scheme involved burying nuclear bombs in the ground for later detonation in Germany. The primitive electronic devices were unreliable in frozen ground, so chickens were considered because they have a heat source. So basically they would put these bombs on the chickens instead of in the ground. It didn't end up happening, this
I think
military chicken Blue Peacock Project.
we just need to say those words again together. Military chickens.
Military chickens, is that another?
Oh my God, I'm gonna text myself again. So 3 ideas I've texted myself.
Really quickly, I would like to share about Sergeant Reckless.
Is that an animal or?
It's a horse.
Of course it is.
Sergeant Reckless, 1948 to 1968, is a decorated war horse who held official rank in the U.S. military. This was a mare of a Mongolian horse breeding out of a racehorse dam. She was purchased in October 1952 for $250. This is her, just so you can see her.
Oh.
A decorated war horse. So, she was actually purchased from this Korean stable boy out of the Seoul racetrack who needed money to buy an artificial leg for his sister. I don't know. That feels like a fake story to me, but it's, it's there. It sounds like too
it's a little extra.
There's like not enough detail, but like too much.
Right.
Anyways.
Like we already have enough going on.
Right. So Reckless was bought by the members of the U.S. Marine Corps and trained to be a pack horse. And
a pack mule?
Pack horse.
Pack horse, okay. See, this is where, yeah, you gotta be careful throwing those words around.
Well, a mule is not just the carrying of things. Maybe that's where your misuse of the word is. It's because if you assume that a mule is about carrying things, you're really
I feel like I'm stereotyping mules. I'm sorry, mules.
Yeah. So she quickly became part of the unit and was allowed to roam freely throughout the camp. She'd go in and out of Marines' tents. She'd sleep on cold nights inside the tents and was known for her willingness to eat nearly anything, including scrambled eggs, beer, Coca-Cola, and once about $30 worth of poker chips. Okay. She served in numerous combats, Korean War, carrying supplies, ammunitions, also evacuated wounded. So she made 51 solo trips to resupply multiple frontline units and had a promotion to sergeant in 1954. Several months after the war ended, she became the first horse in the Marine Corps known to have participated in an amphibious landing, so water to land, and following the war was awarded 2 Purple Hearts, a Marine Good Conduct Medal and inclusion in her unit's presidential unit citations from 2 countries and other military
Oh
honors.
my God, I love it.
So her wartime service record was featured in the Saturday Evening Post, Life magazine. So she was well recognized. So her name, by the way, is actually the horse was originally named Achimhai, which I'm not saying correctly, it's Korean, but it translates to morning sun or son of the morning or morning flame.
I mean, I fully acknowledge that the joy I take in this could be because humans are trying to make ourselves feel better about the whole thing.
Right.
And it's working.
So it's true. The person who bought the horse, like the military personnel who bought the horse with his own money too. Like he renamed Reckless, and they went through training, went through hoof camp. She learned to run for a bunker upon hearing the cry incoming. So like incoming, she'd go around and hide. She learned how to not get entangled in barbed wire. And
I haven't even figured that out.
Me neither. What do you do if you're entangled in barbed wire?
How do you avoid it? That's my question.
She learned how to lay down when under fire. So if gunshots started going, she'd lay down.
Smart.
She was kept in a pasture near the encampment. She was very gentle. This account, she's known to eat bacon, buttered toast, chocolate bars, candy, shredded wheat, peanut butter. Yeah. So she became very used to being under gunfire and was very good at going down. And she initially went straight up on all 4 feet, left the ground the first time a rifle was fired, so she got scared. She was shaking, but her handler calmed her down. The second time the gun fired, she merely snorted. By the end of the mission that day, she was calm and just trying to eat the discard of a helmet liner.
So we have our goals. Try to work towards merely snorting and then just eating at the end.
Right.
I feel like I'm close.
You're right. Yeah, agreed. I think so.
As far as stress management goes.
She did throw up on the ship when she was on the ship.
That would be you.
Motion sickness part.
You're a puker.
I am a puker, I guess, if my insides puke.
I'm not a puker.
Yeah, I don't know. That sucks. So retirement. She did get those medals, like I said, and she when she got back, she got a blanket, all of her ribbons and insignias on it. She was let off the ship by her group of peoples, and the anniversary of the creation of the Marine Corps coincided with that date, and that is now like her birthday. She ate both cake and flower decorations. She was kept by the Peterson family, the one who purchased her originally, for a brief time before moving to a permanent home with the 5th Marines, 1st Marine Division at Camp Pendleton.
Love that.
So they kept her around for a really long time. She was kept in well cared for, VIP Marine Corps status. And they have intentionally had not allowed her to be exploited for commercial interests.
Damn it, I was already thinking that'd be a great logo.
Right. Right. Reckless.
Right.
Oh,
I love that.
So yeah, we went to a dark place in the middle. But I think there's potential for harm in really anything when we especially when we involve animals that don't have a vocal say.
They don't have a vocal say. I mean, they can bite the shit out of you. That's a communication of a kind.
Right, but that doesn't mean that they're not thrown in the middle of a battle anyways.
Right.
Yeah. Deeply disturbing.
It is deeply disturbing.
And slightly heartwarming because they
yeah.
Those darn animals.
My heart's a little warmed and a little disturbed.
Yeah, I'll show you that little
and we sprinkled in the psychological.
Until next time.
Buckle up your dog in the car.
And don't set off any incendiary pigs. None. Not even one.
Okay, bye.